Okay, can I have your full name, please?
Yes, my name is Anish Gupta.
Okay, do you work or study?
Currently, I'm working as a software developer.
How do you spend your time at work?
Well, I usually have my meetings early in the morning. I wouldn't say very early, they're around 11 p.m. And then I start with my work, which is basically all the tickets and all of the development work that's been assigned to me. And then every evening, we have another sync up call with our client, wherein we give them an update about our day, our entire work. And in between, I take a 1 hour lunch break as well to
Okay.
rest.
Okay, let's talk about sports. Do you like watching sports on TV?
Yes, I do. I've always been a sports enthusiast since my childhood, and I've always enjoyed watching cricket, football, and sometimes wrestling as well.
Have you ever been to a sports match in person?
Yes, I've watched a lot of cricket matches in an actual cricket stadium, especially the Indian Premier League, which is a very widely known uh, cricket league that happens annually in India. So I've been a part of many of the matches which happen in my hometown, which is Jaipur.
Is it better to watch it with friends or on your own?
Well, it's always better to have great company along with you. So I've always tried to make sure that I have at least a couple of my friends with me or my family to enjoy the game and make the most out of that time.
All right, let's talk about mobile phone. Do you use a mobile phone?
Yes, I do. Like everyone, it's an absolute necessity, and I do use a mobile phone every day.
When did you get your first mobile phone?
I believe when I was in grade 10th, that's when I bought a new smartphone. Even though my parents were a bit reluctant because people at that time were not as used to getting cell phones, were not as used to, were not as addicted to cell phones. So there was the level of the need wasn't as serious as it is right now. But I got it when I was in grade 10th.
Okay, let's talk about cars. What types of cars do you like?
Well, I am not really a big car enthusiast, but I do like. But if I imagine having a dream car, I would want to have one which is majorly chauffeur driven. I like to drive, but I don't like to drive daily. So I would want to have a car which will have a nice seating, comfortable seating at the back with huge leg space, and maybe if I do well, a nice bottle of fridge, like a nice mini fridge in my car as well, spacious
Oh,
enough.
all right. Do you like to travel by car?
I do. I'm fine traveling by car. I've had many journeys, 4 to 5, 6 hour journeys from my city to other cities while traveling along with friends and family. So it's a
Oh,
nice journey.
okay. Do you prefer to be a driver or passenger?
Well, as I said, I like to sit at the back or at least at the co-passenger seat. I like driving, but I'm not one of those who would enjoy driving for a long period of time. So to answer your question, I like being a passenger as compared to being a
Why?
driver.
Why?
Because I like to enjoy the journey and see see if you're traveling through the mountains, I would like to enjoy the mountains rather than being worried about driving properly. Or if I was driving in an open area, I would want to enjoy the beauty of the nature and see all the animals and the beautiful sky that we pass through.
Okay. Did you enjoy traveling by car when you were a child?
Well, I did. It was always fun. It was always nice traveling with your family. We get food along. We get food back from our home, and then we stop at different places for leisure activities. So it's always fun to travel with car. And then I remember, certainly in my childhood, we used to travel a lot from our city to our relative city who used to live around 4 5 hours from our place. So it was always nice, and it was always it's a very memorable memory that I will always cherish.
All right. This is the end of part one. Now in part two, I will give you a cue card. You have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. You will have 1 minute for the preparation. Okay? Your cue card is describe a flat or house that you would like to live in the future. Where it would be located, what it would look like, who would live with you in it, and explain how you would feel about it, living in it. You have 1 minute.
May I start now?
Yes.
So my dream home or flat, my dream house would be a 5 bedroom accommodation along with a personal gym because I am a fitness enthusiast and I would want to always have my own personal space where I could work out at any time of the day. And I would fit in really nice music system as well and listen to the type of music that I want to listen to. Then it would be in a very my that flat that I will want to live in. It would be in a very nice, luxurious society with all the amenities like a really nice garden for children, a community hall, and indoor sports activities. Everything that will be enough for me to all the required activities that would want me to buy a house in a society. I want all those basic activities. I would obviously want to live in with my family because that is the most important. And in Indian culture, we tend to always look after our elders. So if I have to name, I would like to live with my parents, my elder brother, and our own family that we'll have eventually. And the feeling that I will get living with my family would be a very happy, peaceful feeling because that would give me a sense of comfort and and uh, and success that I am taking care of my parents and doing everything that they want me to do. So I would love to live in a house in a really nice home with my family and have all the things that I've always dreamed about. And in my own room, I would want to have a really nice television as well, a big flat screen TV. And as for my washroom, I believe that I would want to have my sauna as well, so that I could, on days when I'm really stressed, I could just take sauna and have a really nice hot warm shower and just go to bed in my really nice bed, which would have linen bed sheets. And I would also want to have scented candles in my room because they give a sense of positivity and peace and calm to the overall environment of the home. So that is how I think I dream. I would want to dream about my future home, and
All right.
and as
Have you ever been to a house similar to the one you described?
yes, a couple of my immediate family relatives do have really nice house, and I've always been fond of their houses because the way I've always liked the way they have built up their house from scratch. Everything that they have put in, it's always been thoughtful, and and uh, and and you get attached to those things, especially when you know that there's a lot of success, there's a lot of hard work and perseverance behind such great things. So these are also the reasons that motivate me to do better things in life. And I would want to take inspiration and build up my own dream house, like similar to that, or maybe better, as per my own taste.
All right. Okay, now in part 3, let's discuss this topic. Do
Okay.
people in your country prefer to live in houses or apartments?
Well, earlier, I would say around 10 years ago, people preferred to live in bungalows or in separate houses. But given the level of security and the level of other kinds of amenities that modern infrastructure, especially in the apartments, provide, I think a lot of people are inclined towards shifting to flats because they are just meant, they are, we have flats in every range as per the budget of as per every individual's budget. So they range from a mere maybe 1 million to maybe 5 or 6 million as well. So you can have all the luxuries of a bungalow inside a flat. So I would say that people now prefer to live in flats as compared to individual plots.
Okay. Is it important to own a house or apartment in your country?
Yes, I believe that it is a great investment opportunity as well. And having your own roof, having a roof under your head that you own is gives you a sense of comfort, and it gives you a sense of security as well because you're not living in someone else's home. And uh, people do depict it as a status symbol for their as a status symbol. Like if you own a good house, like you have a decent respect in the society. So people like to live in huge homes to have a
Okay.
status symbol.
Do you think there is a pressure on young people to buy a house or apartment in your country?
Yes, I feel so. There's a pressure on young people because there's a sense of financial illiteracy in our society, because people believe that buying a home at a early age is very important. Nonetheless, it is important to buy your own home, but you should always take care and think about all your future plans when you're buying a new home. So I believe that renting these days is also another alternative to staying to avoid buying to avoid taking a home loan at a very young age, and you don't know when, you would move. Maybe your plans change. So there is a certain level of pressure
All
on
right.
young people.
Can people in your country buy a house easily?
That totally depends on the place that you live in, on the city and the area that you want to buy a house in, your current financial status, and your mindset as well. If you feel like if you feel like you have to buy a home, and if it's an absolute necessity, then yes, you can definitely take a home loan and repay it in the next 20 to 25 years. It depends completely on the individual's current status and their
Okay.
choices.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of owning a house?
Well, advantages is clear that you have your own home, that you can clearly structure it, decorate it as per your own wishes. It's your property. You can do anything. You can. If another advantage would be if you wish to give it on rent. Maybe you have a couple of houses. You can, you can give it on rent as well. So it kind of creates an opportunity for passive income. The disadvantages of owning a house, right? The disadvantages of owning a house would be you are restricted, maybe, because once you've bought a house, and maybe there's something that you don't like about that city, that area, or maybe you have to shift somewhere and you have invested a lot of money, then it becomes a huge problem for you to shift and manage all the finances. So that is one disadvantage. Other would be maybe if the property prices go severely down in the area that you have recently bought your house in, that could be one problem that could be considered as one of the disadvantages.
All right. Does climate affect the interior design of a house?
Well, I believe so. Though I don't have any technical expertise, but as per my assumption, I would say that the place where you live in, the climate definitely impacts the way your home is internally structured. So I think that, for example, if you live in a place where it snows constantly, you need to have internal heating system. Or maybe if you're living in a beach, if you're living somewhere in a humid area, you need to have proper ventilation in your home. So definitely climate would play an important and integral role in how the way your home, it has to be structured and internally decorated as well.
All right, this is the end of your speaking test. So let's have a feedback. You were very good, you were fluent, very nice, well spoken, but you used twice, avoid it, try to explain, avoid fumble. Overall,
Hmm.
it was very good speaking. You can easily score 8 to 8.5 in real test. Okay.